we're starting on the crotch really of the Tyrannosaurus here. And there we go. What we've essentially done there is attach the cod piece to this crotch piece of the T-Rex Zord.
Alpha, the Falcon is back. Prepare for him a hard work with attitude.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of Build the Megazord, where we're looking at issue 57 this time, and we are going back to look at some more parts of the iconic Tyrannosaurus Dinozord. And here are the parts that we get in issue 57. Lots of nice glossy black parts and some interior workings as well. So the first thing that we need to do in issue 57 is get, now I'm just trying to make sure that I get the right part here. One's labelled with an L, which you can see there. One's labelled with an R, which I hope you can see there. For left and right, because eventually they will go together, but I just don't know which one we are starting with. It is the left-hand side. So it's the one marked L, and it's the one actually that comes with this kind of cut-out hole here, and this kind of top section here. That's the part that we're going to be starting with. And the first thing we need to do is get this silver part, and again there's two silver parts that come in this issue. One is marked with an R there, one is marked with an L there. So we need to get the left hand side one, and there's a little cutout groove here with two screw holes. That piece will just sit, this piece just sits very nicely on there, and then we screw it down. There we go, that is that part all on there. So this silver part will just protrude out of the black part like that. And there's the first part of this stage all done. The next stage requires this metal joining part here, and this, for those of you like amongst you would have already twigged, but this is a turning part. So we are dealing with the bottom end, obviously, of the T-Rex because the top end's done, but we're dealing with the waist articulation in this part. So what we need to do is we just need to push it through that hole there, so it will look like that on the back, and we'll have this protruding part there, and then we just screw this part down. And there we have it all screwed down. And I have to say that in this issue I've never seen so many screws come out of the screw bag. There's a lot of things, just tiny screws to screw in this issue. So yeah, so that is the first section all done on this video. We then need to bring back the fantastic, I mean just look at it, I've forgotten just how great it looks, the fantastic T-Rex Zord here. And then we get to this left hand side, and it's the last remaining hole there is where we attach this part. So we just push it onto there like that. He says, dropping it everywhere. So yeah, we push it onto there like that, and just like the part we've just done where we've had to screw 4 screws in there, we've got 4 screw holes, believe it or not, in there that we need to attach it. So I'm just going to do this off camera for the reasons that have become blindingly obvious, in that it is quite tricky to do. So I'll just do this and then I'll be right back. And there we have it all attached. So you can see that we're starting on the crotch really of the Tyrannosaurus here. And I'm going to have to be careful, because when it's got the weight of the legs on the back of it, it will be much easier to do this, but this part does turn, as you can see here. I'm very careful with it. So yeah, so we will have gorgeous waist articulation for this Tyrannosaurus Zord. So putting that aside just for the moment, and we're just bringing back the remaining parts of this issue. Once again we have this silver part and this black part, and once again we can just line that part up there and screw it in, which I'm not going to speed up this time because hopefully it won't take that long. Watch me regret this instantly. I've already regretted it. Let's speed it up, shall we? And there we have it all done, and it was really daft to think that I could do this without speeding it up. For those of you who haven't twigged in all my years of doing this, I say that I speed things up so that it's for speed, to make the video go quicker, which is true, but my word, it does not cover a multitude of sins as well. If you go back and slow down all my fast screwing parts over the years, you'll see me make so many mistakes. I don't recommend you do that, but if you are so inclined, feel free. So yes, so that is that part all done. And then we've got one final thing to do on this section. We're not attaching this right hand side crotch piece to the T-Rex this time, but we are going to attach this part here, and I just need to make sure that I get it right. So holding this part like this, then holding this part with that cut off part facing upwards, that is how you line it up. It doesn't really clip in anywhere, there's no kind of grooves for it to go in. Oh yeah, there is slightly, ever so slightly, but it is quite flush, so it is going to be quite tricky to do this. But then you just screw that in to secure it. And there we go. What we've essentially done there is attach the cod piece to this crotch piece of the T-Rex sword. And just to show you what it will look like when it's all together, remember we're not attaching it this time because there is still another hip plate to come in there. But when we attach it all together, it will look something like that. Well, it will look like that, with the legs then attached on here. And of course, this silver part here will attach the fantastic T-Rex tail, which will come at a later issue. But don't attach it just yet because we're not fully done. But we are done for this video and this issue. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you are enjoying this series. I'm absolutely loving it. As always, I'm thoroughly enjoying this build. And I hope you are enjoying these videos enough so that you'll be back next week where we continue building more of the T-Rex. So until then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.